We are again at the amazing Rotherham Zen Den. We are going to do a video on shot shaping. Just to contradict that term, we're actually going to start off by asking you to actually not think about shot shaping. And by that I mean, I want you to know your awareness of the target and the ball. So I want you to hit two shots. I want you to just be able to start the ball right, finish it right, start the ball left, finish it left. So it sounds very simple, but it's just a way of resetting and making sure you can actually, with path or hands, whichever way you want it, I want you to have no focus on technique whatsoever. Just try and focus, doesn't matter how far, and just make sure you can do it. So target's there, I want this to be right of target. SkyTrack will hopefully show us. There you go, just right of target. Target's there, I want it just left of target. This, now I want absolutely no technique. Didn't even check that, but I hope it was just left of target. All that tells us is, have you got this basic skill set of switching your brain off from technique and being able to know which side of the hole you can start the ball? Because you need to be able to start the ball left and right to shape the shots. So that brings us back into shot shaping, as we said. Obviously the one that starts right, we then want it to draw back. The one that starts left, we then want it to fade. And that's the perfect way of checking whether you can do it. So for me then, the second stage of that is, can I then start it on that right hand one and just draw it back? I should hit the line, I'm not sure. I'm joking. But yeah, so that's obviously, as you can see from there, my awareness is okay, pretty decent. Again, just going to go left of the target. So it looks like my couple of weeks offs work quite nicely. But on a serious note, that immediately frees your mind up and gives you an excellent way of firstly just trying to start the ball where you can without trying to shape it, and then coming in and shaping the shot. If you work on that, obviously if you're lucky enough where you've got SkyTrack and an amazing facility like this, then it's very easy. On the range, there's plenty of targets. We also, if you've got a net at home, it's not ideal, but still you can make the most of that net, and you can put something in the middle of the net, start it right of it, start it left of it, and just practice those things and take the most out of your practice. Just keep working on the same thing. Always put the first two shots in first. We're then going to break this down. We've had a lot of questions asking about downward strike, low shots, low phase, low draws. Well, that's the next phase to that. So to move that on, it's a shot I like. It's a shot a lot of good players like, because they like the feeling of a downward strike. For us guys at Zen, it's the best feeling for us, as we've chatted in several videos, you know, myself using the Grfi board. The feeling is getting down and the angle being late. And I use a feeling, once that angle's late there, I just rotate with the club and the club and the chest. There's so many ways. You hear stinger, you hear punch, whatever it is, go away. Practice, work out what your shot is. What we'll see here, I'll just hit one now. I'll start with the low fade, and hopefully on SkyTrack you'll see a big difference in trajectory. And that's a good way of working on downward strike and getting the shot shape you want. All the time, you're actually freeing yourself up, which is a great way of practicing, so you can go out on the course and enjoy it more. And once you can do this stuff, you can really get on the course and do it. Let yourself go and do it on the course. So the low draw, bear with me one sec. Again, you've seen the draw, so hopefully on SkyTrack when we've recorded, you can see the difference in trajectory. Yeah, I can see it coming out lower, drawing round, and again, I'm testing myself. I'm giving myself games. In winter, you've got to do this stuff to occupy yourself. We're going through a lot of times, you know, the course is frosty, we're not going to play. If you want to improve, get the most out of your practice. I've just hit 6 shots without any technique thought whatsoever. There is a technique to it. One thing I love to do when we're hitting a lower ball flight is spend some time on the Grfi board. For me personally, I love the feeling of this because to hit the lower ball, I use a feeling that you've got to move your weight forward and it has to stay forward. So at no point this will show if you're doing it or not. Can we go back? Otherwise the ball's going to pop up. So that's why I like to use the board, whether we're teaching or whether I'm playing and practicing myself. So the feeling for me on the board, we start left-sided as always, make a big turn, get behind the ball, but as for me, I like to start the feeling down really early and then stay on this left side so the club comes in with a downward hit and the wrist angle keeps the ball low, and you'll see the difference in trajectory from the normal one to the ones I'm hitting. So this is just something I use for a drill, so when I go back to the freer shots when I'm on my own, I've already done the practice on what I like to do. So as you see there, much lower ball flight, the weight gets across. What I like about this is it shows the biggest mistake is when you go forward and you move your weight down and forward, there's a tendency to think, and if you go back through mine again it goes forward, stays forward, and then you take it through to the follow through. You see really low ball flight, great wind shot, great control shot. Still hit the shaped one while you're on it. Like the feeling, again, got it forward really nice, low, drawing. All I'm doing really there is testing myself to make sure from the downward motion there's not any tendency just to try and hold back. And just to show the fade, nice and low. The board's giving me every feedback I want, and I'm just getting feelings of what my hands are doing, what the floor's doing, what I'm doing, my interaction with the ground, where it starts. You've seen videos probably in the past. My favorite feeling is to really start that forward movement early, almost to the point where the club's on its way back. As that's going that way, I like to get that down for the low shot, and then we can get back to it in those free shots as we practiced in the video. Once you've learned that stuff, you will really go out of the course and be a lot freer and happier and allowing yourself to play these shots. Hope that helps. As usual, any comments, any questions, pop them below. We'll work on all of them and try and work through all this stuff throughout the winter.